Then he went, Donald Trump, yeah, Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump, but no more drop box. The drop boxes are just so bad. No more drop boxes. Dickinson, Hologic, and Cephahide. That was about a guy named, a rhino named Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, real beauty. Had to give the American people their voice back by building something called Truth Central. He voted against Kate's Law, and he voted for Obama amnesty. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? J.D. Mandel, and he's doing great. I've had more investigations than Jesse James, Billy the Could. Some of the world's greatest cricket players, from Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli. As the great religious teacher Swami Vivekananda once said. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation. And God bless the United States. Thank you very much. He was awarded the Bronze Star and the Combat Infantryman Badge for his service. We have to keep our country great, but it's not, I mean, for some reason, it's just not great anymore. If you care about law and order, look, law and order. In normal times, roughly 40% of fresh vegetables and about 40% China. Nambia's health system is increasingly self-sufficient. This is not about virtue, cycling, and signing. And the great General and President Ulysses S. Grant, he's really come back a long way over the last 10 years, hasn't he? We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple. When they gaze upon Yosemite's towering sequoias, they delivered a swift and sweeping, you know that sweeping. It was swift and it was sweeping like nobody's ever seen anything happen. Units of plasma for plasma. Donate plasma. In the failing New York Times by an anonymous, gutless coward. I may ask Marilyn Lockheed, the leading woman's business. No teacher should ever be allowed to teach transgender to our children without parental consent. No, nobody has to have parental consent. And we will totally oppose the Biden administration. This administration.
He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish. You heard them and you know them well.
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
But sinks, toilets, and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
We're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
What on earth is going on with Trump and toilets? Trump's White House toilet would be clogged with documents that Donald Trump was flushing down the toilet. Is this the explanation? Is this the explanation?
Big massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms.
10 times, 15
Trump was doing this with his personal toilet.
Elements of bathrooms.
and showers.
Big massive dumps.
Elements of bathrooms. Duty.
10 times, 15 times.
Elements of bathrooms.
God bless the United States. Thank you very much.
Elements of bathrooms.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your television. It is really 2023, and for the first time in history, a president is being indicted and will face criminal charges. This is all just such great news,
I was proven even more right than I would have ever imagined because apparently, is actually indicting my father. So,
Great orange leader. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe prayer does work.
this is like communist level shit. 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 This is like communist level shit.
Great Orange Leader.
Dear God.
God forbid, Donnie Boy. God forbid, Donnie Boy. Great Orange Leader.
Dear God.
God forbid, Donnie Boy. God forbid, Donnie Boy.
This is like communist level shit. This is like communist level shit. This is like communist level shit. This is like communist level shit.
I think that's about all we need to hear. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. For everybody wondering, the album with many of those songs you just heard and others will soon be available on Spotify, Apple Music Tunes, and any other reasonably well-known music platform that is out there. Very, very soon we will be releasing that album for free for your streaming pleasure, which is going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has landed in North Carolina, where he will shortly, in about 30 minutes, address the North Carolina Republican Convention, facing 536 years in prison, theoretically total. He will be arraigned for the second time on Tuesday in Miami, Florida. Important, it's not in Florida, it's in Florida. And we will be there on the ground. Luke the Bee's Knees Beasley is going to be there for us. He will be talking to users of Truth Central, defenders of the failed, twice indicted, twice impeached former president. He may even be coming to us live during that stream Tuesday. So I hope all of you will be with us then. But today we are all wondering, what is Trump going to say? We are going to look at video from on the ground at the convention. We are going to talk about the charges against the failed former president. I've got a couple other things up my sleeve planned. So come on in, everybody. Thanks to everybody who's been signing up via Twitch. Also, I'm going to be going on Twitch and tipping with bits random streamers with like under 10 viewers just to do something nice, because it's like everything's so negative these days. We have an entire party in the United States, a political party based on debasing the democracy of the United States. It's all horrible, horrible, horrible. So just as a nice thing, I'm going to go out and bless some Twitch streamers with very small audiences with some bits in a bit. And I don't even know if it is communist level shit. And I don't know if being nice is allowed on Twitch, but we're going to do it. So maybe people can tell me how to find some extremely small streams. And I would actually say it's cultural Marxism, if you really ask me what it is. Ron DeSanctimonious. Okay, so where do we start? Let's start as follows. And thanks, Knox, for the Twitch subscription. Oh, by the way, new coupon code, indicted again. We had a coupon code before, which was just indicted. Because Trump has been indicted again, we have scaled up the coupon code to levels previously unknown, and it is now indicted again. Indicted again. And if anybody uses that code, I will make sure to thank you. All right, let's get some basics on the record. I think it's important to do this just to kind of get it in one place cohesively and concisely. I'm going to give you my general thoughts about the propaganda reaction we've seen from the right to the latest indictment of Trump. So if you haven't been following this, Trump has been indicted federally. This is different than what happened in New York. Trump is facing 37 counts related to sensitive documents and his handling of those documents at two of his residences, Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster. We are going to be delving deeply into the indictment, but in short, the indictment alleges Trump not only mishandled documents, he attempted to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigation of those documents. Obviously, they moved the documents around, spent months refusing to turn documents over. We found out the surveillance room was flooded by a Mar-a-Lago employee when they drained a pool into the surveillance room. We don't know whether that was deliberate, but I think I would categorize it as extraordinarily suspicious. It involves the retention of classified documents. It involves showing people without the proper security clearances classified documents. Trump has lied about this endlessly. He said, I declassified everything telepathically or however. But then there are recordings of Trump months after leaving the White House telling people, I can't show you this document because it's classified. This means Trump didn't declassify it, and he knew he didn't declassify it. So there's so many of these charges, espionage charges, etc. We will leave it to the legal experts to deal with that part. The subject matter of some of these documents involves military and weapons capabilities of the United States and other countries. That's pretty serious stuff. Now, you can make the argument, and I would defend the argument, that we have a problem in the United States with overclassification. I've done interviews about that. I've talked about that. I'm not afraid of that argument. However, we're talking about pretty serious stuff right here. One of the things that is not in the indictment is what Trump's motive was for this, as we see the Trump motorcade now leaving the Trump plane and heading towards the speech scheduled to start soon. The document, the unsealed indictment, as far as I could see, did not speculate as to the reasoning for why Trump was doing this. So we are all left to speculate. But one of the things that I think is important to understand is that the indictment is filled with evidentiary detail. And this brings me to a very important aspect of this entire thing, which is the aspect of this relating to law and order.
If you care about law and order.
Exactly. Law, auto, personal, umbrella, life insurance, business liability, all of it, malpractice. No, if you care about law and order, I want you to remember that the very same people who are now defending Trump, saying these are process crimes, saying we are over-criminalized, saying that this is a witch hunt, saying that this is politically motivated, all of those people saying this is not due process, were demanding Hillary be jailed absent any evidence of criminality, absent an indictment, absent an adjudication, absent a conviction, and absent a sentencing. The very same people who say they are for law and order are now saying this is nonsense. There's pictures of Trump's bathroom stuffed with boxes. We have recorded conversations. And they wanted Hillary jailed. They want Hunter Biden imprisoned. They say Joe Biden needs to be imprisoned. And they have the audacity, the gall, and the testicular fortitude or ovarian fortitude, some of them are women, to demand that those people be jailed, but that Trump must be elected president. So you're going to be hearing all of this for the next several days leading up to what it seems that Trump is trying to incite another riot outside the courthouse on Tuesday. Leading up to that, we saw Mark Levin's Fox News rant, indignant, and all of this stuff. It's very important to remember these are very serious charges. They've got him dead to rights. There are pictures. There are audio recordings. It's actually stunning. It's actually stunning the amount of evidence that there is. And meanwhile, they wanted to imprison Hillary. Now, I'll say one other thing. You might be wondering, David, it's 6:20. Aren't you going to demand Trump's imprisonment for life sometime soon? Or aren't you going to say you believe he should rot in jail for the rest of his life? Because it is, after all, 6:20. Isn't it time for you to do that? And the answer is no, because I'm actually for law and order. I'm actually for not demanding people be imprisoned until they've been convicted. And I'm not for convictions until there's been a trial and an adjudication. And I'm not for that until there's been an indictment, which I only want if there's evidence. Okay? So my view is not partisan on this issue. When it comes to Hillary, Hunter, Joe Biden, Obama, Trump, whoever, If you believe there is probable cause to investigate, then do it. They did it with Hillary, and James Comey twice said there aren't going to be charges because that's not where the evidence pointed. With Hunter, investigate him, indict the guy if there's evidence. He has nothing to do with the Biden administration. Do it. This is the exact same thing I've been saying about Trump. So you are not going to get me stepping outside of my belief in due process just because it's Trump. If he's convicted, or if it's a likely conviction and he and his lawyers decide to take a plea, then I will say sentence him appropriately based on the crimes. But they want to tell you they're about law and order when they're really not. Law and order means the process I just laid out. Probable cause for an investigation. Investigation. Evidence means show it to a grand jury. Grand jury says indict, you do. You adjudicate. If you get a conviction or a plea, you sentence in accordance with the law. Crazy, right? Crazy. So that's my view on what's going on at this point in time. Now, we have so many things going on. I want to thank some incredible people who were the first 6 people to sign up using the coupon code Indicted Again. Those are Vincent Savageau, Joseph Pierce, gifting 2 subscriptions, Cassie Long, George Escobar, and Jeremy Elias. I appreciate that very much. And that puts us at 14. Also, thanks to everybody who's been signing up and supporting on Twitch. That includes R Rhino, JGM Kurtz, Beachheads. Tiny Sir Jen just gifted 5 as well. That's 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 14 is 22 if my math serves me. Let's look at some super chats that are coming in. Thanks to Cadillac for the $50 super chat. Extraordinarily generous. Thank you. Cody says they flooded the server room. It's beyond parody. It's really beyond parody. Daniel says, I think the difference with Hillary was that the lock her up was more of a rally cry than an actual expectation, as ludicrous as it sounds. Well, lock up was not unique to Hillary. That's for sure. Tyler has gifted 1 subscription on YouTube. I appreciate that. That puts us at 23. Business Recipe says, hey, David, what type of material outcomes need to happen from the indictments in order for it to actually matter to you? What if it's a nothing burger? No, it appears as though a Trump appointee is going to be involved in the adjudication. So I'm already losing confidence in the adjudication. Right now, it's about what's in the indictment. The indictment is stuffed with evidence that is damning. Trump had his by the way, you know how I've said before, money really can't buy taste. And we've applied this to when pictures are published of Trump's Trump Tower apartment building. It's covered in gold, and it's money really can't buy you taste. The pictures released from Mar-a-Lago doubly and triply confirm money really can't buy you taste. This vile bathroom stuffed with document boxes. It's hideous. It's stunning that a guy as wealthy as Trump can't even get an interior designer. It's just pathetic stuff. Pathetic stuff. David, sir, Donald Trump, a.k.a. Donald Trump, now has big, massive indictments. Absolutely. Let's see here.
Big, massive dumps.
Exactly. A big thank you to me for gifting 2 subscriptions on YouTube. I appreciate that. Dave Willow says, is it true he's organizing a rally prior to his arraignment in Miami? Yes. And in fact, I think it's very clear that Trump is trying to generate as much chaos as possible around the courthouse. I think it's abundantly clear, and it's absolutely horrifying. And he may indeed generate it. I mean, he may succeed. I don't want to say January 6th, part 2, but it could get very, very ugly there. So we're going to continue watching all of it. Do you think he will get placed in jail? So good question, Shorty. At this point in time, I still would bet that Trump doesn't do a single day of jail or prison time. I think if we got to a point where there was such a sentence, I think that it would be home confinement. It's just my opinion. People write to me. If you're going to write to me and say, I'm making it more likely he won't serve prison time by saying this, give me a break, guys. What I say on this show is going to have no influence whatsoever on whether Trump gets sentenced to prison time or not. And I know people will say, no, they have special prisons for high profile people. I'm not denying that. It's just my prediction. That's all it is. It's just a guess. Your guess is worth just as much as mine. So don't get mad if you disagree. You just have a different opinion. It's no big deal. My opinion may change. And good question in the chat about Georgia, Lori. I actually think the most likely scenario to lead to jail time is what's happening in Georgia. Trump may get indicted again out of Georgia. We'll talk about that. Let's not put the cart before the horse just because there's so much to discuss. Besikwa says, holy crow, I didn't know I've been a member over a year. That's awesome. You survived many purges. Huzzah. Here's my question. Do you think it's worthwhile to also fight the massive overreact by Jordan and the other idiots? I actually think it's better to ignore them. They're such losers. They're meaningless losers. I think to the extent that we can, we should ignore them. Super Dan says, David, sir, soon it may be time to update Trump's title. I suggest known traitor and failed former President Donald Trump. Yeah, he's now twice indicted, twice impeached, failed former President Trump. That's where we are right now. And it is an ugly place to be, that I can assure you. Thanks to Chelsea Mooncat for the Twitch Prime subscription, as well as VegNZ. Neverman says, where were you June 8, 2023, when the beginning of the end of the MAGA movement began? Do not be concerned about the upcoming process. E. Cannon will recuse or be forced to recuse on prior prejudice. I hope that that's true, and we will be discussing that super strongly on the Monday show. I hope people are going to watch that show. Welcome, Napa Skip Dog. Appreciate the Twitch Prime subscription. Hey, let's do something fun just to spread a little bit of joy because things are so ugly right now. I'm going to give some gifts to random small streamers on Twitch. I want to find people with like no viewers who are streaming right now, and we'll dump in some gifted bits. Any suggestions or ideas for how I can find such streamers? I think that would be a really great thing. Let's see what we should do here. We want live channels. Let's see who's live. So a lot of these people have a ton of viewers. Let's see who we can find that's not... Scroll super far down. Okay, let's see. I'll just scroll down far, far, far down. Let's see what 317 viewers. A lot of these still have a ton of... We're just going to see if we can do something nice. So this will be interesting because things have been so horrible. These people have 7,000 viewers. Sort by viewers. Let's see. Sort by... viewers low to high. Wow, that's fantastic. All right, let's see. Skyrim. Let's see if we can find something interesting here. Practicing trick shots. A lot of gaming stuff. I'd rather find something a little different where the streamer is on screen. I think that's really the critical part of it. A lot of 2-viewer streamers. Let's see what we've got. This will be nice. This will be fun. But a lot of this stuff, this doesn't seem like the right stuff for me. I should go to chat streamer so I can do category. Let's see. Language. So we'll do English. What should I search? Up here. Maybe creative. IRL. Let's see. IRL. Oh, but now I can't sort. Just chatting. Categories, just chatting. Okay. And let's do viewer. Oh, I can only do viewers high to low now. But let's see if I do that and then scroll way down. Okay, here we go. So now we're getting somewhere, folks. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's see what we can find here. We want someone with very few viewers. Very, very few viewers. 39. Let's go even fewer. Even fewer. I don't know even how to gift bits. I think it's like, do I type in cheer? We'll get to that in a moment. Let's see what we can find. 18 viewers. Let's go even lower. How about... let's see. This is all so random. I'm trying to find someone on screen. How about this random person, Shelly Sophia? I have no idea who this is. Let's join the stream, see what's going on. Sadie. Now, how do I gift bits? Do I do cheer and then the number of bits? I think I've got like 5,000 or 10,000 bits available. No, the stream's not ending, guys. The stream just started. We're waiting for Trump. We're just giving people, just random people, some bits, okay? The diamond in the chat box. Okay. All right, here we go. After this ad, we're going to do it. Let's just see. Let's see what happens here. I have no idea who this is, okay?
You know, because some people they like the front of a hairstyle,
do 1,000.
and then they see the back and they're like, "Wow."
That's 10 bucks. Is
absolutely
1,000 10
not.
bucks? Is
Well,
1,000 10 bucks?
Pictures are best friends. I literally had a lady
Nobody
come in
knows.
today,
Great.
and she had, I think she probably
is. Okay,
either
here we
cut
go.
it out of a magazine or a catalog, something. Physical picture. I was like,
1,000. Great stuff.
thank you for the follow, and Risto, and Risto.
Let's see.
Oh my goodness. Chelsea Mooncat, thank you for the follow. Scriv, thank you for the follow. Oh wow. Thank you for the bits. David, what is going on? What is going on? Where did all you guys come from?
Look
Thank
at
you
this.
for the follow, Giggle Man. Thank you for the follow, K Surfu. Thank you for
All
the
right.
follow, Desert Woodrat.
Let's cut and run. All right, let's find someone else now. Oh, how about that nerd Jacob? That seems interesting. Let's see what the deal is with this guy. Let's see. All right, let's cheer 10 bucks. Excellent stuff, my friend. This guy's not muted, is he?
Yo, David Packman, thank you so much for the thank you so much. Very much appreciated. Get ready for the crowd.
We're spreading
shit.
joy, guys.
We got a crowd coming in.
This guy's got 7 viewers.
Oh my god.
Isn't this the best?
Yo. All right. I appreciate this. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Dark on X, Twitch Monkey 1000, Key Surfu, Cole Lame By.
All right, let's keep going because we've got to get to the Trump event. Don't leave, by the way. We're just giving some people free gifts. Let's see who else we've got. Anything that looks interesting. Here's some people with 4 viewers doing some kind of thing. Let's see what we got. They're looking at baby pictures, I guess. You know what? I don't even know what
it tickles me.
The kid on stream is making me a little nervous, so let's actually get away from it.
basketball game, but maybe not.
Oh god, now it's XQC. How the hell do I mute this? All right, let's just mute the whole thing. All right, let's do one more, and then we're gonna get to the Trump stuff. Let's see who else we've got. Vape Queen. I don't know what sort of content that would be, so we're gonna get away from that. How about this person? Let's see who this is. 2 viewers, okay? Let's see. This should be interesting. Let's tip 10 bucks and see what happens. Great work. Hold on, let's unmute.
Oh my god.
It is September.
September. Oh, it's period. I'm gonna get kicked out one day.
Let's see what happens.
Welcome in.
But when I say I did not expect any of this, I think I mean
Oh
it.
my word.
Do they know what's going on?
Welcome in, everyone. David loves Trump. Thank you.
Underwhelming. Maybe a little reaction
Hello
would
from
be nice.
David Pac-Man Show. Who's... Hello? I'm so confused.
Oh, this is the best. She seems to be frozen.
Thank you so much, David. How are you all doing? Welcome in. Sorry, I was so confused. I don't know if it was what was happening, if it was true or not.
It's all true. It's real.
We're here to love you. Welcome in, everyone. Sorry, that was just like, wow.
All right. Anyway,
let's get away from it. We're going to do that again. I have to tell you, I love that. We're going to do that again because that is just great stuff. We'll just give away tips to people. All right, excellent. Folks, you just witnessed a beautiful event. All right, we just gave away $30, $10 a piece to different streamers. I have plenty more bits that we're going to do. And I don't know, that was great. That was really great stuff. People are crying. Look, big strong guys with tears in their eyes are now crying. All right, let's see what else we have going on. The Andrew Fox Show says strike and strike and strike and strike. Absolutely. I want to say thanks to Desiree DeLong and Juan the Trollman, each gifting a subscription on my website. Folks, if you're just joining us, we already ranted and explained a lot of different things about this new Trump indictment. I think it's really important to mention to you that this is only the beginning. We have a Republican primary. We have a Democratic president who is trying to justify his reelection. Trump is going to be arraigned and in custody on Tuesday. We'll be covering it live and on and on and on, all these different things. I have the smallest requests of you. Number one, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to push towards 2 million subscribers. It's completely free to subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, just follow. You know, it's really, really simple stuff. And if you are so kind, go to joinpacman.com, okay? You can use the coupon code indicted again, and the prices just crumble when you use the coupon code. You can also do monthly. This is all because Trump was indicted again. So we've scaled up the discount as we await Trump. I think the most important thing I can tell you, we talked about this with the Daily Wire before. The Daily Wire, we're actually going to interview a college professor who specializes in this very soon. The right is so much more organized when it comes to media. The Daily Wire has millionaire, if not billionaire funders. And we on the left are so fragmented and sort of siloed and doing our own thing. The best, even if it's not me, if there are progressive content creators you like, support them if you can. Just look right here. Right Side Broadcasting Network, which is it's just agit trash. Look at this. Super chats just dump in. They understand. There's a lot of things I would criticize the right about. They get the direct connection between we support a media ecosystem and we win. They get it. The left is not as organized. And just look at this, $100, it's endless. So if you can sign up at joinpacman.com, I would love it. If you just can subscribe to the YouTube channel, that's free. It's the right has these simple things. Hey, it's our money. Shouldn't we keep the money we make and not pay taxes? Wow. So simple. Send them money. These simplistic ideas. Hey, abortion's murder. Outlaw it. Well, hold on a second. What do you mean by murder? And are you saying outlaw all abortion? What about the fact that when you ban it, people just get unsafe abortions? And right? And then they go just dump money. They get it. So I'm going to get off my high horse now as we're awaiting Donald Trump. But I do want to say thank you to everybody who has been supporting us. Thanks to Emily and Robot Laser Party, Punk on a Bike, all these great people signing up over on Twitch. Let's read some super chats because they are coming in. That was awesome, David. Thank you. Yeah, we'll give away more bits on Twitch soon. David, I'm worried indictment may be communist. Burn all books before woke. I know. Accountability may be communistic. Emily gifting a subscription on YouTube. I appreciate that. JD says that was great, David. Thank you. Cadillac gifting 5 memberships on YouTube, which I appreciate, putting us at 39. A lot of messages coming in. The right is so much more organized. If there's progressives you like, support them, says Cambridge Analytico. Appreciate that. Stay woke at 6 a.m. for everybody. Peach chain. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what the lingo is. Twice impeached, twice indicted, one-term loser. Who am I? Sounds like Scrumps. Sounds like Scrumps to me, I must say. People want me to do one more donation. You know, it would take me a while to get the Twitch stuff going. Let's do it later. Let's do it later, I think is what I would say. What I do want to do, however, is just look at a couple different things going on in and around this speech that Trump is going to be doing. Let's see here. Trump said aboard his plane he will stay in the race even if convicted, although he insisted he's innocent. Trump getting off the plane, I guess traveling with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, wait, no. Trump snubs her. Trump just snubbed MTG. This I have to see. Let's see. Trump's coming down. Here's Marjorie. Here comes Trump, Marjorie clapping. Okay. She's awkwardly trying to just walk. Oh, this is cringe. I don't even know that I can do it. She's like, yeah, I'm part of this group, slowly trying to get. Oh, this is so cringe. Oof, this is rough. Oh, boy. Trump just walking away. She's like, hold on. I want to be with you guys. Vile. Absolutely vile. Vile. Thanks to Nasty Q's and Cal Keys for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Man, that my cringe radar is going hard, and I am struggling to watch that. I'm very, very much struggling to watch that. Thanks to Nick Gelso and Blake Daniel for signing up at joinpacman.com with the coupon code indicted again. Oh Hey NSA is asking on Twitch, David, what's the preferred platform to subscribe on? Honestly, it's our website. On our website, we just pay 2% to receive payments. Every other one of these platforms are taking pretty sizable slices, but whatever you want to do is always appreciated. I'm just letting you know sort of the reality of the situation. Super chats continuing to come in. David, sir, do you think the pool was drained 10 times, maybe 15 times? Absolutely. Endlessly draining the pool into the surveillance room. Let's see what else we have. Here's a better view. Here's Trump. Not even looking at Marjorie. Oh, man, that is rough stuff. Rough stuff. Here's Trump earlier in Georgia.
Oh, his personality. You're going to have wars. You're going to be fighting the whole world.
Really quickly here, I just want to interrupt, as you did hear the former president speaking about what he called election fraud there, that Trump and others have filed and lost dozens of lawsuits contesting the election processes, vote counting, and the vote certification process in states like Georgia, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. Nearly all of the lawsuits were dismissed or dropped with judges.
I love the little fact check. That's great stuff. I love that. Trump called Marjorie beautiful.
But Marjorie Taylor Greene, where is Marjorie? Where's Marjorie? Marjorie Taylor Greene is here. She would say, hello, Marjorie. She's a warrior. Oh, there she is. Oh, look at her. How beautiful.
Yikes. Big yikes happening there. Jeez. Let's see what else we have. I mean, the Trump speech, by and large, we're going to look at on Monday. Let's see if we have anything else here. Here's Senator Josh Hawley. Trump repeating a lot of the same stuff. Trump blames the FBI for the document dumps. Trump visits a diner.
How are you? Look, we have the fake news media. How, everything good? I like the hat. You did a good job before with the pictures. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's a nice crowd.
I love you, Donald! I love you!
How are the waffles here? How are the waffles? Are they good? Because I
You
gotta
need
try
to get
one.
pecans on it, Mr. President. Get some pecans.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, listen, it is sad. Like, what's happening in this country is extraordinarily sad. There's really no other way to say it. It is, you would hope that at a certain point we all get to where we say, even the Trump people, they go, hey, you know what? Even if I liked his idea of a wall that Mexico would pay for, we've kind of got to cut it at this point in time, and we're going to go in a different direction. And they're actually getting even more sort of behind him. And I'm not joking when I say this. If you really want to understand what's going on within the Trump cult right now, There are 3 books I would recommend to you, all by Jeff Gwynne, who's a fantastic nonfiction author. It's Jeff Gwynne's book about cult leader Jim Jones of the People's Temple, Jeff Gwynne's book about Charles Manson, the cult leader of the Family, and Jeff Gwynne's latest book, Waco, about David Koresh and the Branch Davidians. It is impossible, if you pay attention to the news in 2022, 2023, to read those books about those 3 cults and not be drawn in your mind to analogous circumstances to your average Trump supporter today. So those are 3 books I very, very highly recommend. And you have to understand cult behavior and cult psychology to be able to answer the question, why aren't they abandoning him? And it seems like such a simple question. And in a sense, the answer is simple, but it is actually extraordinarily complex. So those are 3 books. Just Google Jeff Gwynne. They're on my list at davidpakman.com/ I think it's recommendations, I want to say. Check it out. Check it out. All right. Thanks to Patrick Hines, Don Navarro, Catherine Collins, Nathan Hoffman, Tony Narrison, who all signed up on my website using the new coupon code Indicted Again. Let's do a few more super chats. Major Payne says, I prefer presidents who have not been indicated. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. David, you should get a copy of Larson's new book of cults. It's old and could be out of print. Interesting. I will check that out. Man, people really want me to do one more donation on Twitch. All right, let's do one more. We're just giving random Twitch subscribers donations. So let's try this again. We're gonna go to browse. We're gonna go to let's try creative, and then art, makers, and crafting. What about let's try art. And then
probably the most unique.
Oh boy. We'll do viewers low to high. Let's see who we have doing art. We'll give one more person, just like we'll send $10 their way. How about ideally someone we can see on screen? Let's see who we've got here. A lot of these folks seem to be on with like avatars, which I'm not huge on necessarily. All right, this isn't so good. None of these folks seem to actually be on. All right, let's try instead. Let's go back. And let's try creative and then makers and crafting, viewers low to high. Let's see what else we have here. Man, there's like a lot of just like, seems like cameras just pointed at stuff. Not much going on. Here's a guy knitting a sweater. Let's send this guy $10. Here we go.
Okay, how much is it for a liter
Why are my
of
bits
fuel?
gone? What the heck? My bits
Or
are gone.
for gasoline, petrol.
What the hell? Oh, he can't get bits.
Gas.
Oh, he's not an affiliate. That guy can't get bits. All right, let's try one more. Let's go back to IRL and we'll do just chatting.
Pathetic loser.
Oh God. So we'll do viewers, high to low, but then scroll all the way down. All right, let's find one more here. Way too many viewers up here. Way too many viewers. Let's keep going. 40, nope, that's way too much. How about getting down to 20? Okay, now here's where we want to be. We want to be in the 15 or fewer viewers range. How about what do we have? we did that one, actually. We're just giving someone a tip who doesn't have a lot of people watching them. That's all we're doing. Let's see who we can find. These people are walking around, so we might not be able to get their attention. 5 viewers. Yes, exactly. How about... we could do this chess guy. Should we do the chess guy? Yes, no? All right, let's do the chess guy. Let's join the stream. This guy also can't get bits. All right. I think we're going to bail. Trump's going to be speaking any moment. I'm going to have a better plan for that next time. I know it's fun and it's a good time. It's proving difficult to find the right people. So they do need to be affiliates. We're going to get back to all of that. Okay, everybody relax. Let me thank a few more people here. Joshua Chicharicho, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sean Hefferon, Cy Boogie, Marina Kremenetskaya, Kathy Horn, Shelly McMurray, and our friend Kyoko Awaya. Thank you so much for signing up on the website. The new coupon code is indicted again. Also, thanks to Benedictator for the Twitch Prime subscription. I very much appreciate that. Other super chats coming in. Oh my God, Marjorie Taylor Greene, he just isn't that into you. Biden should be prosecuted for leaving classified documents in Chinatown. The last time I had Chinese food, my fortune cookie said my lucky nuclear code number was 867-5309. Great show, David. Appreciate it, Tom. Thank you. I really wish all of the support the big names in the Republican Party is thrown back in their faces in the upcoming years, but I really doubt any of them will lose reputation for this. Very much so. Cadillac has gifted 5 more subscriptions on YouTube. I appreciate that. Emily gifted one. Yeah, I already talked about the Emily gift, so I appreciate that. And thanks to OG River as well for the Twitch Prime subscription. Let's listen to a couple of voicemails just to see sort of what's on people's minds.
Hey, David, it's James. I want to talk to you about transgender, or I guess someone call it anti-trans legislation. Whenever, some Republican governor passes, let's say, a ban of gender-affirming care, a ban of transgender, or
what?
Or vice versa. The response from the left is always something to the effect of, well, why do you have to worry about transgender people? They're only 1% of the population. And they're right. The problem with that is then they go in and demand that everybody puts pronouns in their Twitter bio.
Okay, all right. Let's I think we got it. Let's see if we've got anything else here.
Hi, Jamie. This is Bree from Buffalo, New York. I was just calling just to ask you a question about Donald Trump and his impeachment. So how is it possible legally that a twice impeached president is able to even still run for president?
So he's never been convicted. That's how. I mean, it's, we've talked about this before. You got to be convicted. David, sir, your last post was so cute. Everyone go follow David. I think Joseph is talking about the picture I posted with my daughter on Instagrams. I can only imagine. I assume it's not the hate mail I posted that this person finds to be cute. Thanks to Kyoko from Tokyo for gifting 1 more subscription. I appreciate that. Let's see if we have anything else from the standpoint of voicemails here. Let's see.
Hey, I was reading the indictment, and the thing that kind of popped out at me was the meeting between Trump and his attorney, where he said, hey, Hillary's attorney was great. He was great. He deleted all the emails, and she didn't get in trouble at all. He was great. I'm thinking if I was Donald Trump's attorney in that meeting and I left that meeting, I would be thinking, what the hell is he trying to say to me?
It's not, you don't even need to read between the lines. There's actually reporting, there's actually stuff in the indictment that says Trump actually said, wouldn't it be better if we just got rid of the documents? That's in the indictment. So it's very crazy, very crazy. Paul says at his arraignment on Tuesday, Trump will plead infrastructure week. I'm actually wondering if Trump will finally release the healthcare plan on Tuesday to distract. That would be an interesting direction. Sinsu says, have you noticed the only person claiming 45 is innocent is 45? Everybody else is just screaming persecution without evidence that he's innocent. Well, no, I mean, you've got like Fox News hosts like Mark Levin saying that these are so-called process crimes and that they're being unfairly used to go after Trump, and that you actually do have a combination of a lot of different stuff. Here's Pillow. Let's get away from that. So there are other people proclaiming his innocence. They're just doing it in very unbelievable ways. And you know, bad faith ways. Thanks to Christine Ryan. Christine just went to my website and signed up with the code indicted again. I appreciate that. Also, welcome to Venezuelan Jedi via Twitch Prime. You're number 65 today. Here's a new voicemail that just popped up. Let's listen.
Hey, David, I'm watching your live stream, and what you said about cults, I think, is right. I think progressives should stop worrying about trying to convince the other side and start worrying about how we can get our own side out and how to get them out in droves and droves consistently. Thanks for all you do, man.
Unfortunately, the only way that I'm aware of, based on the cult experts I've spoken to deprogram cult members en masse, is very authoritarian stuff like what happened during the Chinese Cultural Revolution. And we don't want to become authoritarians, you know. But here's the other thing I would say. You don't actually need to deprogram all of the Trump cultists, because we have both the benefit and the curse in the United States that like only half the country votes. So without deprogramming anyone, you can actually blow the right-wingers and the MAGATs or Magadonians out of the water just by increasing voter turnout. Now, I know it's not like I'm breaching new ground here. Everybody talks about voter turnout every election, and then it's like voter turnout stays roughly the same. But it's the truth. You don't actually need to deprogram all of them. Okay, other voicemails coming in.
David, this is Kathy Horn. I just signed up on your website, and then I got the shout out. I'm watching you on YouTube, casting you to my TV. I just subscribed to YouTube a couple weeks ago.
Folks,
this is my first time listening, and I'm really enjoying the show. Loved what you did on Twitch. How much fun was that? Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm so excited to have signed up, and thank you for the discount. Really appreciate it. Can't wait. Now I'm going to hang up and keep watching the live show.
Folks,
you're awesome.
Folks, that's what I'm talking about. Obama. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That was a paid actor. I PayPal'd her $20 right before, but forget about it. Let's imagine that it was real. That is the energy that the right has. And when Trump talks about a perfect phone call, that's a perfect phone call. See, Kathy gets it. Thanks to Patrick Gabady, Kevin Langanki, and Jenny Grimm for signing up on my website, number 66, 67, and 68 today. Thanks also to Senator Larry Craig, great to see you, and Micro Kimmy for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. We're awaiting Donald Trump, originally scheduled for 6:30, pushed to 6:45, and now clearly delayed even further. Let's continue checking out Super Chats. Oh, no, we don't have any other Super Chats. That's okay. Let's get to some other voicemails.
Oui, salut Monsieur Pacman. Je voulais vous demander, c'est quoi qui vous a inspiré pour commencer une chaîne YouTube concernant le climat politique aux États-Unis? Merci.
That was French. Can anybody say, what did that guy say? He wants to start a news and politics YouTube channel and wants advice from me? Was that what that was? My French isn't that good. I think that's what he said. Let me listen to it once more.
Oui, salut Monsieur Pacman. Je voulais vous demander, c'est quoi qui vous a inspiré pour commencer une chaîne YouTube concernant le climat politique aux États-Unis? Merci.
I think he said what he wants. He said, first he said hello to me, and then he said what he wants to ask of me is that he's interested in starting a political YouTube channel. Can anyone confirm? Does anyone in the chat speak French? Please. He wants to know why I started a YouTube channel. My inspiration. Oh, okay. No, other people are saying he did ask that he wants to. Listen, you know what? I don't know why anyone would leave me a message in French. I really don't know. Leave it in Spanish, if anything.
Hey, David, it's Colby Culp. I already tipped you in chat, but I just want to say it just one more time for everyone in the back. They flooded the server room.
Cody really enjoying the fact that the server room was flooded. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm with you.
Hi, this is Jackson in Baltimore, Maryland. I think the Trump humpers have a point that Donald is being treated unfairly because he is. I mean, he's being prosecuted for crimes where most other rich and powerful people are not.
Right. That's a perfect point. They talk about the two-tier justice system, and they want us to believe it's one for Democrats and one for Republicans. That's idiotic. We've had a two-tier justice system for a long time, and it's the wealthy and the elites and everybody else. And what's happening is Trump is at least theoretically being held accountable, at least theoretically, in that he's being indicted. We'll see how far it goes. Beautiful voicemail. Okay, I see people demanding voicemail from Whitney. I do have some. Thanks to Booters1957 for the Twitch Prime subscription. Here is a Whitney voicemail.
So I wanted to kind of like rag on quote mothers for a bit, just because I was looking at this like, debatable clause of like, maybe you're a mom, maybe you're not, maybe you're a bad mom, maybe you're a good mom or whatever. And it's like people like hardcore defend like crack addicts who are mothers. And then when it comes to somebody who's like, oh, well, maybe I have to like wait a bit until my kids are in bed to be considered a good mom. Like if somebody smokes weed, and it's like, I don't know, maybe before.
All right. Sort of an unusual stream of consciousness. Whitney called right back with more.
But like growing up, I had so many babysitters. It like wasn't even funny. Like, so many times my mom left.
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to do this right now. Actually, I'm realizing this is not appropriate right now. Let's just not do it right now. Okay. Geez. Thanks to Beth Graham for the Twitch Prime subscription. Super chats continue to dump in. Carlos says, David, the real crime is the discount you're giving away on your site with the new coupon code. You might be indicated. Indeed. If you're just joining us, today is maybe the best day I can think of in history to support independent media with the coupon code indicted again. I get emails from people who say, David, listen, I support you on every platform. You must have somewhere like 5, 10, 15% of your audience supporting you. No, we have roughly 0.7% of our audience that supports us on any platform. If we could get to just 1%, it would be huge. Be part of a positive 1%. You can sign up with the coupon code indicted again. And I will thank you. If just 1% of the 10,000 people watching right now were to sign up, we hit our goal instantly, which is actually crazy. Let's see other super chats. Mike says, is this proof that there are two justice systems? I would be in jail from day one. Why is he not? Can we file a petition? If I were to ever be in this position, can I be like, you didn't put him in jail? No, you can't. Yeah, obviously Trump may be bond. The question about bond is a good question. It's a good question. Do you think Biden should pardon Trump? I mean, it could be good for his campaign. No. David, as a Canadian Brit, it's important for Americans to know that to the rest of the world, Trump will forever be known as traitor to the entire Western world. America has betrayed the entire free world. Yikes. I like my presidents like I like my pickles, uncharged. Wait, let me see if I have that. Here it is.
Uncharged pickles? Warm food around noon.
There we go. Those were the days, huh? David, will you be my new therapist? Lord, people find you and it brings them back to childhood trauma. Oh boy. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Tiffy Kitty says, David, sir, I'm coming to you with tears in my eyes. Troth Central is a Trumpster fire, and the MAGA meltdown is in full swing. It is indeed. It is very much in full swing. Big thank you to Shane White, Martin Barrett, Jana Gallatin for signing up at joinpacman.com. New members 73, 74, and 75. John says, the algorithm has indicated this channel is worth watching. Cheers, sir. Been a fan for a bit now. Hey, actually, let me do some quick feedback. On both YouTube and Twitch, let me know in the chat if you're here. Just type in, let's just have a code. Type in 47. Type in the number 47 if you're here because YouTube or Twitch randomly recommended this stream to you today. People are typing it in before I said what the rubric was. No, I didn't mean just type in 47. I meant only type 47 if you're here because this was randomly recommended and you heretofore had no idea who I was. Oh, God, everybody's just typing 47. Oh, dear God. All right, forget it. Okay, type in 008 if you meet that scenario. 008 if you were randomly recommended this stream today. Oh, there are some. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, that's what this is all about. There are actually quite a few. That's great. That's great. We're not trying to just preach to the choir here, you know. And everybody who's typing 008 is lying. Okay, good. Super useful. Super useful. Thanks to Susan Armino, Marcy Martinez, Gregor Imand, and yes, for signing up at joinpacman.com. I appreciate it. Man, that backfired horribly. In the picture of documents in bathroom 1 of the boxes says Mar-a-Lago bedroom or MEL Melania. I don't know. I'm going to look into I want to look at the pictures more closely. Strike and strike and strike, says Devane Edick. I appreciate that. And welcome to Irie Man over on Twitch. Let's listen to what's being said. Trump will be speaking momentarily.
A future without Joe Biden. A future led by President Donald J. Trump. Are you with me? Let's make America great again. Thank you, North Carolina. God bless you, and God bless America.
These people are sick cultists.
Seven lonely days and a dozen times.
This is beyond parody.
Out one night and you were gone. Don't know why you'd run, what you're running to or from. All I know is I want to bring you home.
I just can't. I can't do it. Welcome to David Garrettson and Amanda Conlon, who just signed up at joinpacman.com. I can only imagine what these people are saying. Let's listen.
This way. That's great. And we're going to hear what Bo and the president spoke about, which is going to be awesome. I know Bo is a young guy. I guess he played some college football too. Yes. I saw some of the bio there. It'd be nice to hear from him and what he wants to do next. He probably should have been the winner, of course.
If you're wondering who these people are, I think what's happening is Right Side Broadcasting was on the ground in Georgia earlier today for Trump's deranged and delusional corrosive speech there. And so I think they had their A team in Georgia. And then I believe this is probably the second stringers. That's my sense. That's my sense of what's going on. But I can't say for sure. I want to say thank you to Jack Allah for the Twitch Prime subscription. And a huge thank you to S. Prez, who just gifted 50 subscriptions via Twitch, putting us at 132. Let's go for 150. Absolute massive dump of membership.
Big, massive dumps.
Super chats are pouring in and so are voicemails. Let's just see if I can get a couple more voicemails in.
The saying is, fool me once,
shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I know the saying. What I was joking about was this.
Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
That was the reference. I know the line. But it was a reference to that classic George W. Bush moment. Okay, other super chats. Reports are saying the boxes in Trump's bathroom were full of David Pakman coupon codes. That wouldn't surprise me. Have you ever had Sam Harris on your show for an interview? Yes. Find it on my YouTube channel. Widely available, wide-ranging interview. By the way, I don't even know. You guys know that I don't really like pre-promoting interviews because interviews so often either get canceled or they get postponed. Damn, should I even do this? You know what? I don't even want to do it this time. Listen, we've got a really great guest that we're close to booking that I think is going to be very, very solid for the show. I think it's going to be a really good thing for the show, and it'll be an interesting interview as well. Okay? So I'm going to leave the tease. It's sort of like vague booking. I have to tell, and I don't want to derail, and you know, one of the things I find super annoying is when someone I know on Facebook will post something like, could really use some positive thoughts today because it's not going well. And that's it. And then everybody's in the comments trying to figure out, oh, is it like, are you sick? Did someone die? What's going on? Did you lose your job? Or like, did you miss out on Taylor Swift tickets? And that's all that's going on. Vague booking. Okay. Could really use positive vibes today. I don't like it. You know, it feels desperate for attention. And I know some people go, oh, but it might be someone in a tough position where they're not comfortable saying. It's really annoying, guys. I'm not saying there's no example where it's like logical, but I don't like it. Okay. I'm against it. It's not good. Thanks to Elizabeth Elrod, Amanda Blindbury, Seal Jankola for the website signups. I really appreciate that so much. Thanks to Miss Scorp Arizona, as well as Iryman for the Twitch Prime subscriptions. Let's keep alternating voicemails and super chats because things are really happening here. I hate to say it, but I miss George W. Bush. I never thought I'd say that, says Tara. Thanks for the $20 super chat. Fade to black. David, do you believe Donald J. Trump's claim that Biden stored 18,000 boxes in Chinatown? It was 1,800 boxes. I don't. Someone wrote to me and said, David, think about the size of the boxes that are in the Trump pictures. Figure out the volume and multiply by 1,850. Think of the warehouse size you would need to store that many boxes. And I think that is a fair criticism of that claim. I think it's a very fair criticism of that claim. Other super chats coming in. Let's see what else we got here.
Hey, David, this is Sean Hefferon, a longtime follower, grateful for everything you do.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I just purchased a gift subscription and thought it was one that was going to get donated to the list, but it can go to someone directly. So I thought if you could give me a shout out on the live now and have someone message me directly, I can send it to someone who's watching right now. Best to reach me Instagram.
Okay. No. Listen, if you don't fill that out, we will gift it to someone. You don't have yet. When you gift a subscription, it'll ask you if you want to gift it to someone. If you just leave it blank, it just goes into the queue. The last thing we're going to do with, 10, 11,000 people watching right now is blow up you're going to get, even if 90% of the people that contact you are nice, you don't want to do that. Just leave it blank and we will get it all taken care of. Don't worry. Let's see what else we have here.
Hello, sir. You made a tweet earlier, which I found hilarious, that when somebody asks about the Trump bathroom story, you're going to have to say which Trump bathroom story. And I just can't believe that that's the point we've come to in this country. Is it the massive dumps? Is it the flushing of toilets 10 times, 15 times? Is it the elements of bathrooms? Anyway, it's insanity.
Big, massive dumps.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I did tweet that earlier. Now, when the Trump bathroom story is mentioned, you have to ask which Trump bathroom story. Is it the time when during the campaign he was obsessed with sinks, showers, and toilets? Is it when we found out he was flushing documents down his White House toilet and clogging it? Or is it when he stacked boxes of classified documents in a completely gaudy, classless bathroom at Mar-a-Lago right next to his toilet? There are 3 bathroom stories related to Donald Trump, which is just, it's out of this world insane. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I put the blame on you. Fool me 3 times, F the peace sign, load the chopper, let it rain on you. That's a quote from Gandhi. Not a quote I'm familiar with. Try a live stream like this, but with producer Pat sometime. The logistics of that are difficult. Okay. Couple other voicemails coming in.
Hey, David. This is Jeremy, a fellow Latino Jew.
Sir.
And I just wanted to sort of send along a thanks to giving me a blueprint earlier in my political evolution to sort of understand the context of more left-leaning politics from a Latino perspective. I'm from Venezuela. I know you're from Argentina, so it's a bit different context there, but grew up in an anti-left household and got to move away from that sort of dogmatic worldview. And I think that's really cool. And that's it. Thanks so much. Like viewing the live stream.
All right. Beautiful message. Beautiful, beautiful message. Let's see what else we've got.
David, I'm a longtime fan. I didn't watch your content, though, recently for about 4 or 5 months. I went through a nasty divorce.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm back now, and it's good that nothing's changed. Your content's still amazing. Your sense of humor is awesome. And
Sure.
Whitney is still leaving voicemails.
Yes, she is.
So keep it up, man. We all appreciate it.
Whitney is still calling in. Still calling in. That is absolutely right. Let's see.
Hey, David, Sean Heffron again. Big mistake. Gave you a handle for one of my other social accounts. It's at SLA.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Trying again, and we're not going to do that. Definitely don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Welcome to Lester Dale and Rhonda Hudson, who just signed up on my website. If you're just joining us, we are moments away from hearing Donald Trump tell corrosive lies to an audience of cult sycophants. Mostly old white dudes, quite frankly, is what's in the room. Okay, fine. Well, I think we just have to call it as it is. And that's totally fine. That's the audience that is going to welcome these cult corrosive statements. We have a new coupon code. It is called Indicted Again. As you see right above me, Indicted Again is the coupon code. Reading about nukes while taking a duke. Yeah, that should be the theme, I guess, of Trump's prosecution. David, why aren't you talking about the aliens? Yeah, I got some interesting feedback. The other day, I played a voicemail from someone who said that I have not been talking about the fact that a whistleblower claims that there have been intact alien spacecraft recovered and that I'm scared to talk about it. And my view was like, listen, it's sort of interesting, but there's a total absence of evidence, And one of the things that I am still struggling with, and I'm curious whether people in the audience are struggling with this. If indeed, the so-called whistleblower, it's interesting, okay, but the whistleblower says for decades now, intact alien spacecraft have been crash landing on Earth. Is it likely, this is just like a does it pass the sniff test thing. Is it likely that there are alien societies so advanced to come to Earth over a period of many decades, yet they constantly are crash landing, okay? No one notices from the standpoint of the public. Somehow multiple governments are able to keep this secret, and over decades, they don't figure out how to stop crashing. Like, it doesn't really make sense. It's very tough for me to believe that that's happening. And I'm right there saying that statistically, it does make sense that there is intelligent life in the universe. If you just think about the size of the universe, the number of galaxies, the number of planets that likely could support life of the kind we know, the possibility of planets that could support forms of life that we don't understand, I'm right there. Like, I think it's statistically likely there is life on other planets somewhere in the universe. But it's very hard for me to believe that for decades, the super advanced aliens that can get all the way here from who the hell knows how far, technology far exceeding us, keep crashing, don't fix whatever is causing them to crash, and no, none of us notice. And also there's no evidence that has been, actually made available. All really weird. Really tough for me to believe that that's happening. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Thank you to Chad Harris, Beverly Bedard, Dexy Co. for signing up on my website using the coupon code indicted again. I appreciate that very much. Let's keep going with some of these super chats. Coworker came to me at lunch today, tears in their eyes, and said, "Sir, do you want a sandwich salad combo too?" I indicated that yes, I would love the lunch combo and thank you. That sounds great. That sounds great. Is this Trump? What's going on here? No, it's not. It's some other guy. Who is this?
What a great crowd we've got here tonight.
Really odd way of clapping. Extremely strange. Just downright bizarre. Other super chats. I'm afraid the more they wave the American flag, the more racist it will look to do it. Don't want our country to become like Britain in that sense. I don't know that much about the connotations of the flag in Britain. That's actually interesting. Interesting to be hearing that. Let's see what else we have here. Have you heard anything from Jimmy from Philly lately? I have not. In all fairness, we have 3,000 unlistened to voicemails, and it's become, I will never get through it. I will never get through it. I'll listen to the most recent 10, like on a stream. I've actually given up. This is actually something interesting. With email, I'm like really good at inbox zero, and I'm all over my email. And part of it is my actual email address gets very few emails, like all the public emails and all that stuff, like they're managed by other people. But I know of people who have given up with their inboxes where they've just said like, I'm deleting it all. With the voicemails at this point, it's sort of like maybe I'll get to 5% of the voicemails because there are so many. We're talking about thousands and thousands at this point. All right. They're playing a propaganda video in the room, so Trump will be speaking soon. Let's see if we can squeeze in just a couple more voicemails or thank a few additional people. Kathy Horn has just signed up at joinpacman.com and is new member 143. Today is the day. Fight these lunatics and help independent media, at minimum, by subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's so simple, guys. This is where we are. We're fighting for 2 million. The only progressive YouTube channels at 2 million or higher are our friends at the Young Turks, different category, right? They have like 50 employees, and our great friend, Brian Tyler Cohen. And then it's us. Help us breach the 2 million mark as the corrosive, twice indicted, twice impeached, failed former president prepares to take the stage. Other super chats. What do you think the federal indictment from the January 6th riots will be like? I don't know. Let's not put the cart before the horse. Here is Prump. Yep. We'll get to it very soon. Actually, we may even take this over on Newsmax. Oh, it seems Newsmax isn't even taking it. That's actually really funny. Just make mildly smarter people work to get the discount. Those are the people you want. The code should be Little Don Mighty Get Big Indicty. Have fun with that. Jeez. Welcome to Rob Griffin, new member number 144 today. Very much appreciate that. A couple other super chats. Is that Trump? It's okay, David. They all look alike to me too. My contacts need a very small tweak. Very, very small tweak. And then I will probably be able to better identify these guys. Thank you for inspiring me. Do you think it's more important and impactful for people to vote in municipal elections? Not an either or. Vote in every election for which you have an opportunity to vote. It is that simple. Don't forego any election. Thanks to DuckCo for the Twitch Prime subscription. Very much appreciate that. We've got other... let's put a pause on the voicemails because Trump is about to speak. It's funny when Trump walks out on stage too early and has to wait for a while the song plays. Super awkward. And as you can see, he's hinging at the waist and sort of swaying back and forth. Extraordinarily disturbing imagery. Extraordinarily disturbing imagery. How long do I expect them to go? I really hope it's under 90 minutes, but I worry it will be really long, like a Castro-like speech.
And defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt.
I think we actually do need a different feed because I'd like to get all of this stuff. Let's see if Right Side Broadcasting.
Chairman, that's a big deal.
Here we go.
That was
What the heck? Where's the video?
tremendous success here. We won it twice. We won the primaries twice. We won the election twice. It was great. Sit down. Come on, we'll be with each other. We have nothing.
Ron DeSanctimonious.
I also want to thank our outstanding NRCC chairman. Where is the chairman? Richard Hudson. Where's the chairman?
Slurring
Come on,
already.
Richard, stand up. We just got back from Georgia, and he's even a celebrity in Georgia. We had a great crowd in Georgia, too. He's fourth in line for Speaker, and his wonderful wife, Renee, is incredible. And she served 4 years, actually, in the White House as Kellyanne. Is anyone here of Kellyanne Conway? Nobody, right?
Nope.
She's so fantastic. But thank you, and thank the family. Your family is fantastic. We appreciate it. Thanks also to one of the great stars of the party, one of the great stars in politics, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
Horrifying. Weaponized extremist. Terrible.
And I'm going to endorse Mark, but I'm not going to tell you about it tonight, okay? We'll save it for another time. But you can count on it, Mark. Congratulations. Great job. You've been doing a fantastic job. We
Oh, God.
also have some warriors that we fight together with all the time, and we win a lot. We win most of the time. Representatives Dan Bishop. Where's Dan? Dan? Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
These are really horrible
Thank you
people.
very much. Great job. Great job. We love him. Chuck Edwards. Chuck. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. Thank you very much. And State House Speaker Tim Moore. Tim, thank you very much. Great job. Tim's doing a fantastic job. Thank you. For 7 years, we've been engaged in an epic struggle to rescue our country from the sinister forces who actually hate it and want to destroy it. I really believe they want to destroy it.
Is he
There
talking
could
about
be no other
Confederates?
reason. These forces are far stronger than Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran all put together. Because with the right leader, you saw that just 3 years ago, we have the right leader. All of those countries are absolutely no threat. They're not any threat to us. We talked about it before. Right now, however, they're putting us in the most dangerous position in the history of our country. We've never been in a position like this. There's never been such danger. It's because of the weaponry, the power of the weaponry. And we have people that have no clue. We have people in office that have no clue.
True.
Together we stand up to the globalists. We stand up to the Marxists.
What globalists?
We stand up to the rhinos.
I wish he would name a single Marxist.
Because you don't know where they're coming from. The rhinos, you don't know where they're coming from. We stand up to the communists and the environmental extremists because I'm an environmentalist. I really believe that. We've done some great things for the environment, but you have extremists, and you don't know whether or not they're really serious about some of this stuff. It's not even believable. We stand up to the open borders.
Does Trump know that liking Marx Brothers movies doesn't make you a Marxist?
They're lawless, partisan prosecutors and the fake news media. We have a lot of it back there, but not all of them are fake. That's a big group back there, by the way. Dan, I think they're here for you, maybe. And on November 5th, 2024, we're going to stand up to the corrupt political establishment. We're going to evict a totally corrupt president named Joe Biden from the White House.
Wow.
And we're going to finish the job that we so successfully started. Probably there's been no more important 4 years than we had. We did a great job, all of us together.
In a sense.
Things we did nobody thought were possible. I put everything on the line. I will never yield. I will never be deterred. I will never stop fighting for you. Never. And if I wasn't leading in the polls by so much, we'd have no difficulty. And you know, they're the party of disinformation. They say, oh, we want to run against Trump. In the meantime, we got 5,000 prosecutors after us because they don't want to run against Trump. We beat him the first time.
It's called evidence of crimes.
Second time, we beat him. We did much better the second time. More than any other president, more votes than any other sitting president has ever gotten, and more votes in terms of the margin, from 63 million, and they had millions and millions. No president's done that. Usually they get less the second time. You know, you get tired of them. They weren't tired of me because we got many more votes. With your vote, we will take back our country from these fascists and thugs, and we will indeed make America great again.
Left-wing fascists, huh?
From the beginning, our America First agenda has been an existential threat to the rotten political class that gets rich and powerful at your expense, erasing our borders, cheating like we've never seen before in elections, exporting our jobs and squandering our blood and treasure on endless foreign wars. We didn't start any wars, first time in 71 years. No wars. They all said, Trump will get us into a war. He's got that personality. No, it was my personality that kept us out of wars. But we finished some wars. We finished ISIS, 100% of the caliphate. We knocked out ISIS. We did whatever we had to do. And we were respected all over the world as warriors.
I went to a Billy Joel concert once, and he opened and he said, hey, everybody, I don't have anything new to play for you. And everybody cheered, quite frankly. And so did I, because that's great. That's what you expect from Billy Joel. Trump could be saying the same thing, quite frankly.
They respected us. They respected your president. And
it's less pleasurable when it's Trump's same old lies.
And it's very sad what's happening. They've launched one hoax. These people we have to deal with, and they've launched witch hunt after witch hunt, and they just try to stop our movement. They want to do anything they can to thwart the will of the American people. It's called election interference. That's what they're doing now. This is election interference. And we've never seen it on a scale like this. And you have to understand, the other side is downright crooked. That's why we now call him Crooked Joe Biden, because, you know, we took the name away from Hillary. She suffered enough with that name.
There you go.
So I retired the name from Hillary because I wanted to bring it over to Biden, because he's probably worse than she ever was. And that's saying something. As the Durham report proved, they spied on my campaign. They
The Durham report did not prove that.
Surveillance warrants. The FBI offered $1 million for a fictitious dossier written by a foreign spy to try and frame me for treason. We beat it all off, didn't we? They put our country through hell, and they knew it was a lie the entire time. They knew it was a lie. They knew the laptop from hell was a lie. They knew everything. Remember, it's not me they're going to go after. And if you think of it, whoever took my place, and I hope it's not going to be anybody, because we're the ones that are going to save this country, because our country's in trouble. They'll go after that person, and that person will not be able to withstand the fire. And I know all of them. I know them all. And they actually admit it. They come to me, how do you stand this? And I usually look at them and say, in a sick way, I sort of enjoy it. Because it exposes them. It exposes them for what they are. And it's also lifted the poll numbers to even higher legs. Have you seen this? The polls are through the roof, and the fundraising, small dollar fundraising, is setting records. But still, you get indicted over nothing. You get indicted over the Presidential Records Act, which they don't even admit. They call it the Espionage Act. These are sick people. We had
I prepared everybody for this earlier. This is part of the minimization of the fact that Trump is charged with very serious crimes.
Hoax number one, remember the perfect phone call? Impeachment hoax number two, the illegal censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop from hell, the 51 intelligence officials who falsely said it was Russian disinformation. Remember they said that? I said, nobody believes that. Who would believe that? You see the pictures, horrible pictures. The real pictures haven't been exposed yet. But all of this, and it just kept coming and coming and coming, and it would for another person in my position, but they wouldn't be able to handle it. They wouldn't be able to take it because you're dealing with crazy lunatics. Now the Marxist left is once again using the same corrupt DOJ and the same corrupt FBI and attorneys general and local district attorneys to interfere in our election at a level that our country has never witnessed before. These criminals cannot be rewarded. They must be defeated. We have to defeat them soundly. In the end, they're not coming after me. They're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way.
That's the grift. No, they're really going after Trump. They're not going after random people in the audience.
The baseless indictment of me by the Biden administration's weaponized Department of Injustice will go down as among the most horrific abuses of power in the history of our country. I think it already is when you think about it. And certainly going back to Obama, when I said, you know, they spied on my campaign, everybody, including the fake news media back there, they said, oh, that's so crazy. Turned out I was right.
He was not right.
This vicious persecution is a travesty of justice. You're watching Joe Biden try to jail his leading political opponent. Think of it. This is like third world country stuff.
There is no evidence whatsoever Biden is doing anything.
He's leading him by a lot. Wants to put him in jail over following a civil act. This is a simple thing. The Presidential Records Act, it's all under the Presidential Records Act, as it should be. It's all under the Clinton Sox case. You know what this Clinton Sox case is? That's where they sued Clinton, and he ended up winning, that he could keep the things that we're talking about. It's all under that, Mr. Congressman. We
it was in a
discussed
sock
that before.
drawer.
But this is more like Stalinist Russia or Communist China that we're dealing with. These people have reached a level of Trump derangement syndrome that nobody thought was possible.
Very low energy.
And I never thought, frankly, that this could happen in America. You go after a president that got, again, the most votes by far of any sitting president in history, gets out of office. And because I'm running, if I wasn't running, wouldn't even be talking about it.
Untrue.
If I weren't leading, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Very
We're leading
untrue.
by a lot. We are leading to sanctimonious by massive numbers. He's heading south quickly. No personality. You got to have a personality to win. He's got no personality. And, you know, remember that
Riveting.
when he came to me, he had virtually no votes. He
No
was
what?
dying, as the expression goes.
He had virtually no votes.
George Washington could endorse you, it wouldn't matter. No, sir, if you endorse me, I'm telling you I'm going to win. I said, let's give it a shot.
He had virtually no role.
Shortly thereafter, they had the primary, and he won. And then we had to get him through a crackhead. But nobody knew he was a crackhead at the time. At the time, he was the hottest politician in the Democrat Party, male version. Female version, Stacey Abrams. It's true. Stacey Abrams and him.
They just advertised some crazy fake medicine. It was the thing that was just on the screen was bonkers.
You'll beat him. And I did 3 rallies, massive, massive, massive rallies, thousands and thousands of people. And I said, you're going to win. And he ended up winning. And then they started cheating at the end. You remember all the votes were disappearing over days?
Right.
10,000 here. Rick Scott, same thing. And I called in. You wouldn't believe it. The FBI. Would you believe it? And it stopped. So at least they did something right. But I got him in. And then they said to him, I said, congratulations, Ron. I didn't know him that well. He was one of the many people that supported me during the impeachment hoaxes.
These are really electrifying stories, as I know everybody in the chat can tell.
3 years later, they said, would you run against the president? And he said, I have no comment. That means he's going to run. I said, I got this guy in, Mr. Congressman. And he said he's going to run. And then I haven't been very nice to him since then. But we're leading in Florida by 28 points.
By a
people
lot.
Are not happy with him. And he's a lousy campaigner. Remember that when he came to see me, he had almost no points. He was ready to look for a new career. You told me that better than anybody.
No
He was
points.
looking for a job. And when I endorsed him, it was like magic. It was like he was a rocket ship. But I believe in loyalty. And, you know, it's just very disloyal. If somebody got me into office.
Just as a little fact check, it actually took about 3 months after Trump endorsed DeSantis for DeSantis's polling to really improve. Not that we care, but it's just like all of this is lies.
Different. Some people I help a little bit. Some people I help a lot. But some people I get in. I got this guy in. So, you know, you think there'd be a little bit of a loyalty. And it's bad for the Republican Party, frankly. But let's see what
about
happens.
Pence?
But we're leading by a lot. But meanwhile, Joe Biden had troves and troves, thousands of boxes, classified documents from his time as vice president and even as a senator. And boy, when you're a senator and you take classified documents, that's a big deal. I watched Dick Durbin get so angry about it.
When you're a senator and you do it, it's a big deal. When you're a president, I guess it's not.
But he went out, and Senator Durbin, he said, you can't, as a senator, take classified documents out of a skiff. He took them out of a skiff as a senator. It's unheard of. I spoke to a lot of senators. They said, I don't believe it. A lot of them. Got a lot of them. They didn't believe it. And they come after me. And we had a wonderful operation, everything by the Presidential Records Act. We were talking to NARA. But, you know, NARA's radical left. Do you know they have a red flag on the Constitution of the United States and on the Bill of Rights? You know what red flag is? It is a dangerous document. This is where NARA's coming from. And they're they've done, I would say over the last number of years, very poor job. But they're very, very radical left. So you have to be careful of these people. But they conspire with the FBI.
This is all... It's so untrue that it's extraordinarily shocking that a former president is even willing to say these things. This is also a very strange delivery. Trump seemingly at the edge of completely losing his train of thought.
I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes and tariffs from China. Think of it. No other president took in any money, not.
Just as a reminder, American companies pay the tariffs that are put on Chinese products. At this late stage of the game, Trump still doesn't seem to understand how tariffs work at a fundamental level.
That's the place. And he's getting money based on reports currently. And if the media, the fake news, was doing their job, they'd be earning Pulitzer Prizes, which no longer mean anything. You know, I'm suing the Pulitzer Foundation.
There you
know
go.
That because they gave Pulitzer
Why
Prizes
not, right?
to reporters from the New York Times and the Washington Post because of their wonderful and accurate reporting on Russia, but they were wrong. In fact, the Durham report just said how wrong they were, but they were. But we knew that even before the Durham report.
Right.
Many of them have already conceded the fact that they were wrong, and they have Pulitzer Prizes. We want those prizes taken back, and we want them maybe reissued to other people like Greg Jarrett, like John Solomon, like all these people that actually did call it right.
That is so
They were
stupid.
real reporters. They really did a great job. But they have to take those back. And so we're suing them. And we're suing them for damages because they're libeling me by saying that these people can.
I'm not a betting man. I would bet none of those lawsuits go anywhere other than the toilet.
Even the papers themselves have now admitted is a hoax. That's libeling me because they're saying that it continues to exist. So let's see what happens with that. But we have to bring back our country. We have to bring back sanity into our country. You know, the media is so important. They could straighten things out so badly, so quickly. Look, if 15 years ago, 15 years, they're like a policing agent, they should be. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, if somebody said that somebody was taking money from China and from Ukraine and from all these other places, tens of millions.
I love this super chat. How does he still need a teleprompter for this speech? I can recite the whole thing. The man is a broken record. Yeah, then he'll go, and you know, when I am back in the White House, we are going to defend parents' rights. Think of it. Think of it. Who would have guessed it was even a thing we would have to defend? Parents' rights. No. But we're going to do it, and we're going to do it very quickly. Very, very quickly. And then he'll do, we will ban men in women's sports, and no teacher will be allowed to teach transgender without parental consult. Without parental consent. We're not going to do it. We're just not.
Nasty guy. But they're all nasty because they're deranged. But we have to have our great media be policing agents so that things like this can't happen. Because, you know, there is no scandal without press. If the press refuses to write that Joe Biden got $5 million and a lot of other.
You know, it's terrible out there. They had this swimmer, you know, and they try to beat a record by a 16th of a second. Women swimming. They have all these women. They're fighting for a 16th of a second. And then this guy comes in, 30 seconds, the wind burn for the swimmer next to them. And now it's a terrible thing. We're not going to allow, we're going to end it right. Day one of my presidency.
With a few congressmen, we have stuff that's so earth-shaking. And you put out the announcement and you think it's going to be headlines in the New York Times and the Washington Post and every paper and every ABC, which is real fake. I call it ABC fake news, NBC fake news, CBS fake news. But you put it, or I put fake in front of every one of them.
We know.
And nobody can say it's not. It's like they're coordinated. They're totally coordinated. They use a word, like they had a word not so long ago, manufactured. The votes are manufactured. Every station said the same thing. It's never been used in politics before. Nobody ever said votes are manufactured. Every one of them. We want to report that the votes have been manufactured. You turn to the next one, ABC. The votes have been manufactured. It's like somebody sends them a memo what to say.
What's he talking about?
If they were honest, our country would be in such great shape. Amazing. But they're not.
Because you'll be in jail.
It's no coincidence they indicted me the very same day it was revealed that the FBI hid explosive evidence that Joe Biden took a $5 million illegal bribe from Ukraine.
This is very much untrue.
This is done. I haven't read anything about it. This would have been the biggest story in history 10 years ago. Walter Cronkite would have reported it, and he was on the liberal side, to put it mildly, but he would have made this the biggest story. But we don't have Walter Cronkite anymore, do we? The Walter Cronkites and the great ones are gone. Right as they're closing in on Hunter and Joe Biden, they want me to put up with this form of retribution like nobody's ever seen before. But it's okay because the public is smart. You know, it's amazing how smart the public is. I go through the town. I was always doing well. And people
Not his
like
followers,
me.
right? I mean,
We did great with the, all the votes we got, the most ever for sitting president. But I was doing great. I've never had receptions. We just left Georgia, and we had a room that was I mean, they've never had anything like it. And there were thousands and thousands of people outside trying to get in for the Republican chairman's lunch. Not normally the biggest thing. Now, because Michael is so outstanding, of course, this is a big deal.
Of course.
But you've
You know
never
Michael,
seen
right?
the streets, tremendous crowds at the airport waiting, the airport being very far away from the venue where it was, people all along the roadway. And this is not really campaign season. People are disgusted with what's going on in our
It's
country.
indictment
They
season,
want America back. They want America back. So I've been predicting this for a long time, just like I did with Live, Live Golf. I told the players, take the money. They're all calling me, say, thank you very much. Should I take $185 million? Say, yeah, take it. But sir, that means I have to leave the tour. Don't worry about it. Take it, because three things are going to happen. They're going to merge, which I predicted they would, and it was nice. They actually covered me very well. They said it was really good. But they're either going to...
This really is super relevant to the crowd, obviously.
In one case, got $185 million. Great one, Dustin. Great player, Dustin Johnson. Brooks Koepka. These guys, they're great. But, lots of others were offered hundreds of millions of dollars. They said no, and now there's a merger. And I actually made the statement. I said, if there's a merger and you don't take the money, you're going to have a lot of very unhappy golfers out there.
You, Virat Kohli.
Very unhappy golfers out there, but it was exactly as I said. But I called this one too. And I said that Hunter will probably be charged with some minor offense like jaywalking, so that the FBI and the DOJ can pretend that they're fair. Oh, we got Hunter. So while they're going after me under the Espionage Act, that's like the creation of missiles in your basement. They got him for nothing. And there's never been a more corrupt group of people in the history of our country running this country.
This is wild.
Where somebody sits on a board, gets $83,000 a month, a $3 million upfront payment. Nobody's ever seen anything like this. And in all fairness, was interviewed on one of the shows on Main television. I call it Main. Used to be Sirius television. Now it's Main television.
Main television?
But he said, no, I don't know why they paid me so much. Do you have expertise, sir, in oil and gas? It's an oil and gas company. No, I really don't. Do you know anything about it? No. Then why are they paying you $83,000 a month and $3 million in upfront payments? And we think it's actually more than that. But these are corrupt people. These are corrupt. He had no answer. He had no answer. The money laundering, the...
Sounds like a crime.
Bribery, and the other massive crimes, they all implicate crooked Joe Biden. See how good that name works? Because, Hillary's now finished, let's assume, although she's probably going to try and make a comeback. After this speech, she'll probably try, but I don't think she'll be very successful.
She'll be like, wow, that speech was so stupid, I've got to run against Joe.
The stakes of this election could not be more stark. Either we have a communist state. They used to use the term deep state. I'm stopping it. I'm using it Marxist. I'm using it fascist. I'm using communist, because deep state is far too soft.
I would love for Trump to define Marxism once, just one time, and then I'll give him credit and be like, you never have to define it again. You're allowed to use it if you can define it once.
Another Venezuela, but on steroids, big scale version, big, large, beautiful scale version of Venezuela. How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door. But now we're buying oil from Venezuela, so we're making a dictator very rich. Can you believe this? Nobody can believe it. You know where the oil, their oil is garbage. It's horrible. The worst you can get, tar. It's like tar. And to refine it, you need special plants. And these people are talking about not doing oil. We have liquid gold, the best, most beautiful stuff you can get. Liquid gold, better than gold, right under our feet. We have more than...
Imagine with everything we now know, thinking we should further the amount that we just drive around burning fossil fuels into the air. Like, okay, fine, give us an off ramp. We've got all these new technologies, but the idea of like, let's do more, it's crazy.
What we had done is amazing, but with Venezuela, they put their oil and they refine it in Houston. So all of those pollutants go right up in the air. We don't want to take oil because we want to watch the environment, but we'll take the worst tar in the world, burn the crap out of it, create oil, and watch it go into our atmosphere. So the environmentalists have no problem with that. So we lose economically, and we also lose from an environmental standpoint, because it is really dirty stuff, the dirtiest stuff you can imagine. We take it from Venezuela, and we also make the country strong again. And the head of the country is a dictator. It's not even believable, some of the things that are happening.
I have to tell you, this is as deflated as I have probably ever seen Trump.
Oh, go ahead and vote. That's why they have all these people coming, and they think they're going to be able to vote. The funny thing is a lot of them turned for Trump. You know, a lot of them on the Texas border towns. Wouldn't that be funny? We like Trump the best. We like Trump. But the governor of Texas called me right after the election. He said, you've done something that's unprecedented. You won every single town along the border, mostly Hispanic. He said, that hasn't happened since, he called it Reconstruction. I said, is that Civil War? Would you say that's Civil War? That's Civil War, you know, term we haven't heard in a long time, Reconstruction. But hadn't happened since Reconstruction, Civil War. But it happened. We did incredible. We're doing incredible with Hispanics. At the end of the day, either the communists destroy America or we destroy the communists.
And who are they exactly?
And never forget what the demented persecution of our movement is all about. Our enemies are desperate to stop us because they know that we are the only ones who can stop them. We're the only ones that can do it. Small group, relatively small group, but we can stop them cold, and we will. And we would have had them stop cold, and they know that. And they cheated like dogs. They cheated like nobody's ever cheated before. You turn on your television at 10 o'clock, you would have said, Pennsylvania's a lock. We were up by so much, a lock. All of a sudden, you see that big fat dump, that big dump at 3:02 or whatever it was in the morning. It's a disgrace what happened. What's happening to our country is a disgrace. But I promise you this, if you put me back in the White House, their reign will be over and America will be...
Do you guys remember that 3 a.m. dump on election night? The dump talk re-energized the crowd more than anything else.
Thank you very much. I stand before you today as the only candidate who has what it takes to smash this corrupt system and to truly drain the swamp.
He happens to also be the only candidate under 2 indictments.
And that's why disinformation. We want to run against Trump. We want to run. Oh, we're dying to run against Trump. We killed him last time. They know it. Killed him with Hillary. How about that one? You think that was a little surprise? That shook them up. They said, we'll never let that happen again. So they developed all sorts of... Read the New York Times. I'm not a fan of the New York Times, but read New York Times, certain stories. But read in particular Time magazine cover from a couple of years ago, because they couldn't help themselves. They had to take credit for it. What they did was so bad for our country. And look at our country now. Look where we are. We're dying. Anyone else will be ripped to shreds. There's no issue.
As I talked about on Monday, check out my segment. It's hard to find an economic indicator that signals a major problem right now. It's actually difficult.
Really bad Biden economy. Our economy is sick. Everything is sick. But remember, and it's true, 100%, they will not be able to withstand the fire. For 3 years, Joe Biden and his corrupt allies in Washington have waged economic warfare on the hardworking citizens of our country. Biden flooded your communities with millions and millions of illegal aliens. Look at what's happening to our country right now. Crushing American wages and stealing American jobs. I believe that, you don't hear this number, I think from...
Wages are up way more than they have been in decades, and unemployment is at a record low.
Will have come in to our country. He launched a vicious crusade to shut down American energy. Anwar, think of Anwar in Alaska. Ronald Reagan couldn't get it done. Nobody could get it done. So many years, so many decades, I got it done. The first day they terminated Anwar would have been bigger than Saudi Arabia. At least the same size. Would have been bigger. So good for Alaska. Would have been the biggest in the world. We were going to make so much money. We're going to pay off our debt. We're going to reduce your taxes still further. Remember, I gave you the biggest tax cuts in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history.
Yeah.
But we would have made so much because oil and gas is such a big business, such a big, big business, such a powerful business, and such an important business. New England has a liberal tint, or taint. I would say taint is a better word.
It has a taint?
It's a little bit on the liberal side, they say, but they pay the highest energy prices in the United States because they're afraid to build a pipeline right through New York State in a poor region where people desperately need the job. A pipeline would bring down New England numbers by 50 or 60%, but nobody wants to talk about it. Biden spent trillions of dollars on socialist lunacy, causing the highest inflation in 52 years. Since Biden took office, the typical family has lost over, think of this.
Remember, inflation has been coming down for about 6 to 8 months.
Each year income. Joe, his number one job was as next president. What he wanted to do, everybody that talks, and they're right, we want to reverse what Joe Biden's done. He's been a horror show.
Right.
Economic horror show. He's been a horror show from the standpoint of our country. And what he's done in terms of our military,
right.
He's given away $85 billion worth of equipment, the best equipment in the world, to Afghanistan. They're now one of the leading sellers of military equipment anywhere in the world. Some people have them at number 2 because they don't need 700,000 brand new rifles. They don't need 70,000 vehicles, many of them armor plated. Think of your friends that have a used car lot and think of them as big. They're big. If they have 300 cars in that lot, it's a lot. We gave away 70,000, some of them costing millions of dollars, vehicles, armor plated, 4 inches of armor. Under my leadership, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. In fact, we did it twice. And now we're going to do it again, and it's going to be better than ever. We're going to do it again.
Really? Hard to believe.
As president, I ended years of bitter betrayals of North Carolina workers. North Carolina was hit very hard by the Democrats. I withdrew from the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership, would have killed your state. A globalist calamity that would have killed American manufacturing forever. I stopped it. I'm
convinced he has no idea what he's talking about, and neither does the crowd. This is essentially a performance where neither the speaker nor the audience know what's being said. I think philosophy would have a lot to say about these sorts of events.
Nobody thought, because you have people, I don't know where they get their thinking, but, they get it from lobbyists and lots of other people, and it's hard to get the votes even when something is really good. And we replaced it with the USMCA. That's the Mexico-Canada trade deal. And you know how I know it's good? Because they are working feverishly to try and renegotiate the deal because they're getting killed.
Remember, we analyzed USMCA. It really differed from NAFTA only in some minor ways, including percentages of parts and labor and car production, but it was not hugely different from NAFTA, which Trump said was a disaster.
Or bringing hundreds of billions of dollars pouring into our treasury from China when no other president had gotten anything from China. They never got anything. They got a lot of bullshit. That's what they got.
Whoa.
And when China targeted our farmers, I got China to give our farmers $28 billion. Who do you think else is going to do? You think Joe's going to do that? Hey, President Xi, you've really been screwing our farmers. You got to give us, got $28 billion for the farmers. That's why I say I'm not losing Iowa. Somebody said, how are you doing in Iowa? I am up like 35 points. But I said, how could I lose Iowa? I got $28 billion for the farmers. Nebraska, any farm state. You took some big chunk out of that $28 billion too, by the way. When I'm back in the Oval Office, I will revoke China's most favored nation trade status.
That'll be a big deal. When he takes over.
And remember, they got that because they said they were a developing nation. Well, you know what? Honestly, we're a developing nation. Our cities are going to hell. We have to redevelop our cities. Our country is going to hell. Look at our cities. Look at New York and Chicago and Atlanta. Atlanta has the highest crime rate per capita of any city. Atlanta. Were they trying to get me on a perfect phone?
I don't know if that's true.
People kill people and they never even get interviewed. But let's get Trump on a perfect call. A call that was so good. It was actually better than my perfect call with the Ukrainian president, Zelensky. Right. It was more perfect. But think of it. I have many lawyers on this call. Just to diverge, I have many lawyers on this call.
They loved
lawyers. Brad Raffensperger was on the call. I was calling to complain about the election because I say it was rigged. And had good reason. But we were there, many lawyers. I said things. That was it. The call ended. Future calls were going to be had. Nobody said, sir, you shouldn't say what you just said. What a horrible thing. We just talked. What I said was perfect. Sir. It was actually perfect. Could not have been better. Most people have read it. They've said, oh, what's wrong with this? It's just a con job. They con. They're all disinformation, misinformation. It's a con job. If there were a problem with that call, these state lawyers would have said, sir, you're not allowed to say that. Would you please take it back? This came up long after that call was made. It's like John Lovitz. Remember John Lovitz on Saturday Night Live? He's probably a Trump hater, but I'll use his name anyway. The liar. They called him the liar. Yeah, I went to Harvard. That's where I went. I went to Harvard. I'm a businessman. That's right, I'm a businessman.
Oof.
Well, they did it too. They said...
I'll probably do another 15 minutes. I mean, it's the same speech. We were wondering whether he would talk about the indictments in any serious way. It doesn't seem he's going to. I am a little curious if he does this thing where he addresses the specific people in the crowd or brings them up. But it's hard to believe there's value in 2 more hours of this. But let's see.
They would have been screaming from the rafters. How dare you say that? Sir, you're not supposed to. That call was perfect. I complained about election fraud, and I wanted them to do something about it. And they should have done something about it, but they didn't. We will gain total independence from China. We will make the United States the manufacturing superpower of the world. And we were starting to do that. Tremendous money was coming in. And to your state, it was coming into North Carolina. What a place. Under Biden, we've had record high trade deficits, which I call losses. A lot of people don't say, oh, a trade deficit isn't a loss. I call it a loss.
Just remember that the United States has run trade deficits dating back to the mid-1970s. It has to do very generally with how we have arranged our service sector, our manufacturing sector, and our energy sectors. It has nothing specifically to do with Joe Biden. It's been trade deficit since the 70s.
Very successful businessman. And then I did The Apprentice, and I did lots of books that were big sellers. Even now I have books that are tremendous sellers. I never had this stuff in mind. I never had the word indictment. What's indictment mean? Sir, that's when you're extremely dishonest, sir. No, these people are con men, and we have deranged people running it. For this reason, I will pass landmark legislation because we have to save our country, to be known as the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act.
There you go.
You know what that is?
No.
When China charges us a 150% tariff, we charge them a 150%. Right now, they charge us nothing. Think of it. Right now. So we charge them nothing. They charge us 100.
People in the chat are asking, how is Melania still with this guy after everything? There are reports that he's basically just paying her at this point to stick around. I have no idea if it's true. I quite frankly don't follow that sort of thing very closely. but there are reports that allege that.
A new name, stupid trade. I said, Pat, so let me ask you, China's charging us 150% tariff on various products. Can we charge them 100? No, sir, it's not free trade. I said, how about 100%? They're at 150. What about, no, sir, you can't do that. What about 50? No, sir. What about 10%, Pat? No, sir, you can't do that. That's not free trade. These are the dumbest people I've ever seen.
Right.
It's called an eye for an eye or a tariff for a tariff. But isn't that a beautiful thought? Because we're getting screwed by every country in the world. And I need to get this one approved by Congress. And they approve things easy if they're bad things, if they're not politically correct, they don't want to do. But this is politically correct. This is very simple. They charge us, we charge them. What's going to happen is a lot of them will come off because they're saying, what's the use of us collecting 150 if they're going to get 150? So it's come off. But some won't do that. And that's okay because we'll take in a fortune. But we'll make trade fair, really in addition, because we're the pot of gold, but we're rapidly losing that pot of gold status. Soon we're not going to have anything. We're losing so much money. In addition, I think we should have about a 12 to a 15% tax on anybody that comes into the United States. This is a tariff. If they want to do business, if they want to take our wealth, if they want to steal our wealth from us, they should pay 15%. It's not that high a number. It's not going to stop them. We'll make a fortune, and we're going to become a profit-making machine so easily.
Really?
So easily.
Doesn't seem super likely.
Because remember, we have $34 trillion in debt. We've got to pay it off. And we don't want to do anything stupid. But if we do the Reciprocal Trade Act, that's fantastic. And if we do we've had people, smart people, that said, if we are going to sell our wealth to other countries, we should charge them for it. Why should we allow other countries to come in and steal our jobs, to make our cars, to make our computers, to make everything, and then just sell them right back at us with no tax? No, I think if we do that, they should be charged 15%. The numbers that you're talking about are astronomical, and we will become overnight a tremendously successful country. And many jobs, when you do that, will come back into the United States. So I want you to think about that. That'll be very controversial tomorrow in the fake news because it's such a good thing.
Think about that.
They're going to hate it.
Think about it.
We're going to fight the globalist vultures and the Washington swamp just as we did before, and we're going to win. We're going to have tremendous victories. I said we're going to beat Hillary. I was right. I said we're going to beat Biden. I was actually more right.
Kind of lost.
But we're going to beat him this time, and we're going to watch those votes.
Kinda.
You know, with COVID, you couldn't go there. People sent in the votes. They get all these ballots. They send in the votes.
Trump sent his vote.
Tens of millions of votes coming out, going in. Nobody knew what the hell. They knew what was happening. But we can never let that happen again. Remember this Jimmy Carter, and he's a nice man, and I know he's not well, so I'm not going to say anything. But Jimmy Carter had a commission, and he said you can't do mail-in ballots. If you have mail-in ballots, it's going to be rife with fraud. Of course it's going to be rife with fraud.
This crowd is pretty damn dead, guys. Pretty dead.
Ballots. And we can't do it. Can't do it. We're not going to have a country left. France used to do it. They got out of it because they said it was so fraudulent, and they went to paper ballots, same-day voting, voter ID. And you know what? They had an election. They got 36 million votes. They had a winner, they had a loser, and that was the end of it. Very simple. A lot of people, it sounds too simplistic, but paper ballots, they make certain watermark paper that's phenomenal stuff. It's actually technologically advanced paper, if you can believe it. But we should do paper ballots, we should do voter ID, and we should go back to same-day voting. We should also have just one day. We don't need, even if you call it...
Trump voted weeks early by mail in 2020.
If you know this, we don't need to have 48 days of voting. And just remember, they created a lot of ballots. They had places where there were more ballots than there were voters. And they had a hard time explaining it, but the courts don't like to get it.
There is no place where there were more votes than there were voters. That we know.
To have strong elections, and we have to have a strong border. It's no wonder the swamp is getting truly desperate as they see us leading big in all the polls. And this week's Morning Consult poll just came out. We have a 34-point lead on DeSanctimonious. We're at 56%. That's with a lot of people in it. Haley's at 3. Great job. Pence is at 7. Oh, look at this one. This one just came out in the Clarity campaign poll, very respected. We're leading by 56 points. That doesn't mean we have 56. That means we're leading Ron DeSanctimonious by 56. 69% for Trump, 13% for DeSantis, and Pence has 6. You know, once you get used to saying DeSantis, it's hard to say DeSantis. I was actually being interviewed, and I was trying to be serious, and I called him DeSantis. I said, that's not good. But he's changing his name. You know, now it's DeSantis. And I put a little message out, never change your name in the middle of a campaign. You don't change your name in the middle of a campaign. In the Emerson poll of Iowa, we're leading by 42 points. See, I told you. I got him $28 billion. How are we going to lose? That's a big lead in Iowa. We're going to do great in Iowa. We've always done great in Iowa. And we're leading Biden by a lot in the recent Fabrizio swing state poll of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin.
Oh, God.
We're at almost 50% of the vote already.
Almost every poll he mentions I've never heard of or is a known terrible poll.
You would think you'd be leading him by 40. You would think you would be leading him by more than we're leading DeSantis. In the ABC Washington Post poll, just came out, I'm up by 7 points over Biden.
Over.
And the new poll from Democracy Institute, very respected, shows that I'm the only candidate that beats crooked Joe Biden. And DeSantis is losing to him by a lot. With each passing day, more Americans are joining our patriotic movement. We are having unbelievable...
I didn't hear him mention, like, you know, Morning Consult or SSRS, or even Fox News does good polling, believe it or not.
People are saying you can't weaponize, you can't do this. Together we've achieved more than anyone thought even possible. We delivered the largest tax cuts in history. We delivered the largest regulatory cuts. That's why we had the greatest employment numbers ever in history. We achieved energy independence. We were soon going for energy dominance, where, as I told you before, we were going to be paying off massive amounts of debt and lowering your taxes still further, because that's the kind of numbers you're talking about when you get the oil cooking. In 60 years, think of it, we had the worst problems and the worst costs in energy in 60 years. We had it down to $1.87 3.5 years ago, a gallon. And we actually had it lower than that, but we won't even talk about that because I had to save the oil companies. They were all going to go bust. I said, this is the first time I've ever said we got to get it up a little bit. I actually called Russia and the King of Saudi Arabia. We had a 3-way call, and we cut back on the oil because it was so incredible. Helped fill up the strategic national reserves, and he's now taken all of that to reduce gasoline prices for cars just prior to the election.
This is riveting
very artificially. Stuff. And he's reduced it down to the lowest level that it's been in, I think, 60 years. We created the most secure border in U.S. history, built hundreds and hundreds of miles of border wall, was going to build another 200 miles to fill up some gaps that we saw. And then they came in after a very strange election, to put it, I'm trying to be nice, a very strange election, really bad election. But they came in and they didn't want to fill up those walls. And that's the first time I said, these guys actually want to have open borders. We got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. That's how we succeeded. You know, we had the most secure border in the history of our country.
All right. We've heard this story a million times. So listen, we did 15 more minutes. We're getting to nothing new whatsoever. So we're just going to cut it. We will be live for the arraignment on Tuesday. Luke Beasley is going to be on the ground for us in Miami, and I expect it could be pretty bonkers stuff. So please do join me on Tuesday live. And between now and then, we're going to publish so much content. But nothing new here from this guy, the same old hits. And they're not really hits. They're really old flops at this point in time. Hard to believe anybody could believe it. We will see everybody Monday for the show, Tuesday for the show, and then Tuesday for the live show as well. All right, everybody. See you then. There are plenty of ways to continue watching this. If you so want to torture yourself continuing tonight, I would recommend not doing that. We'll see you Monday.